Get along, little froggies.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian. Today I'm playing with the Gitrog Ravenous Ride. The Gitrog monster loved being ridden by Thalia so much in the Thalia and the Gitrog monster card that he decided he'd want to be a mount full-time. So in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Gitrog is now a rideable creature. But if you choose to saddle up onto the Gitrog monster, you're going to die. Because when the Gitrog Ravenous Ride deals combat damage to a player, you can choose to sacrifice one of the creatures that mounted it in order to draw that many cards equal to its power and put a bunch of lands from your hand into play. Yeah, the Gitrog Ravenous Ride is a wild ride. And if you like high-power creatures, they go great with the Gitrog. There's actually a lot of high-powered creatures that have other downsides, ones that you might not want to attack in with them right away, or maybe you don't get to attack in with them at all because your opponents can stop you, or maybe there are things like the Demogoth, Woe Eater, and Titan that have obscenely high power, but you never really want to be attacking in with them. You just want to play them and kill them all on the same turn. Gitrog Ravenous Ride is a very unusual brew because it's all about getting the Gitrog in, dealing damage, and then drawing a ton of cards to ramp up into these good big threats. Now, because we are trying to sacrifice high-power creatures in this deck, we also have high-powered creatures that we can just use to attack our opponents. But if given the choice between, say, drawing 12 cards and dealing 12 damage to my opponent, I'll probably choose to draw 12 cards, because it's very fun. In this deck, if your Gitrog manages to get through, you will be drawing tons and tons of cards, putting lots of lands into play. So there is some landfall in this deck. I actually took Scoot Swarm out, and you will also have a lot of cards in your hand. So a Reliquary Tower, very much an important card to have with your big frog. Some of the other very fun, high-powered creature synergies include things like Yargle and Multani, because it's Yargle and Multani. And honestly, an all-star in this deck, the Skullspore Nexus, so when you're sacrificing those creatures, you still get a remaining fungus dinosaur. This is also a bit of board wipe protection, which can be very nice. Some of the cards in this deck also help you get your damage through, like Sereth, which will give your Gitrog, which already has Trample and Haste, Death Touch. Also can allow you to mount with a creature, because you do have to tap to mount, and then untap the mounting creature, so it can also attack in. If you want to get on Mr. Frog's wild ride, well, you're in for a good time. So we're going to take him into the queue, and we're going to ride on to victory. Sauron, the Dark Lord. When I cast a spell, they amass. And that army, if it manages to deal combat damage to me, lets them get tempted by the ring. And whenever they get tempted by the ring, that's right, the chain keeps going, they have the choice to discard their hand and draw 4 fresh cards. Really an all-in-one commander that also has an insanely good ward. For me to kill Sauron using a targeted spell, I need to sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. It's also big enough to block my commander, which is just so rude. This Ragavan, though, is being held at bay by Rachel, our handy-dandy human token. So shout out to Rachel, doing important work on this battlefield, being the 1/1 that stops the monkey. I'm gonna go for the throat. They're just trying to clear the way. They just used a very good piece of removal on a token. Well, I'm gonna use a very good piece of removal on Ragavan because he's Ragavan. And I'm gonna pay tons of life doing it just because life is a resource. And I need discounts on this Galta. So we'll bring out Lovestruck Beast, a lovely little 5/5 who can't currently attack or block. Sauron's Ransom. Okay, you can have pile A or pile B. Bubble! They went for the mystery pile. I think I should save the Terra Sunder for... I assume they'll play like a Mana Rock or something. feel like my opponent's lands. Yeah, they're really nice. Yeah, so that's the mana rock I was saying they'd probably have. I'll get rid of it. Because that should encourage them to use the Wayfarer's Bauble right here. Which means I should be runway clear to bring out the Gitrog monster. I mean, that works too. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and use this Castle Garen brick. Excuse me, game? It was trying to tap this. If broke. It got to. Draw 5 or draw 12? You already know. Of course I'm gonna draw 12. And we're gonna put a couple lands in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lands. Sadly, none of them are Reliquary Towers, so I do have to discard 2. I'm going to discard the Rattleworm since it does something from Graveyard. And Gwenna, because I don't think I need Gwenna right now. We have a 1/1. That's why I'm holding this, because it would let me use the Lovestruck Beast. All right, so they just took an extra turn. They're like, oh no. Oh no. Just you wait. Just you wait. They're destroying all my creatures, but that's why the ramp is so important. Speaking of which, yes. I'm gonna use Casualties of War here to slow them down a bit. Destroying an artifact, creature, and land. Artifact, creature, and land. Nice red sources you don't have. And then I am going to play either Goreclaw or Pawk. Pawk's the most damage. Goreclaw gives me discounts. But I think we can play Goreclaw next turn. I also have, like, the choice of, do I want to, like, Thoughtseize and Shakedown heavy? But I feel like Goreclaw and then spitting out a lot of spells next turn is going to be the best. So this Pawk is not getting any value here. Easily killable target. But if you do, that's fine. Firemind Vessel. Is this just ramp? Oh, and now we even have a protective spell. All right, Castle Garenbrig. Goreclaw. Goreclaw. Into Gitrog. They have a free counter spell, I can tell. Okay, so Pact of Negation on that. That's too bad. We can still do a lot of damage. And they're gonna tap out next turn. So I'm gonna go Shakedown heavy, holding up 1 mana for Tyvar's Stand. We deal 10. They have to pay 5. That's all but 1 of their mana. The Edict would also hurt. Sure would. Did you guys know that drawing 12 cards is good? Oh, and isn't that nice? A lethal amount of damage, with lots of trample, and next turn, sacrificing a big boy too, just because he can. GG. Aklazot's Deepest Betrayal. Aklazot's attacks in and makes you discard, and if he dies, he turns into a land which can be flipped over if there's a player whose hand is mostly empty. They're saying, hey. Hi! Oh, that's scary. A turn 1 Dark Ritual? Oh. That's symmetrical, I guess. I'll make you discard. And I will also discard. I'll discard Fight Rigging. What do you discard? Invoke Despair or Bitter Triumph? I'm gonna try to keep them away from 5 mana, since they also have this at 5 mana. Actually, haven't seen an Oppression cast in a Brawl game before. Oh, that could be fun. I'm going to cast this Gwenna. Oh, that's fine. I'm gonna discard Sheoldred. For no particular reason. Nope. None at all. I'm not doing anything weird here. Certainly not trying to set up for, oh, I don't know, all sorts of silly shenanigans. Do you cast a spell? Oh no, my Sheoldred. Oh no. I'm trying to set up so I like don't even have to discard here. I might get a better hit too. I was hoping they were going to play Aclazotz that turn. They did not. But now we got loads of goodies here. I will just go ahead and reanimate. Here's a Sheoldred. Oh no, I have to discard. I don't have any spells to discard. They also don't have any creatures to sacrifice, which is fine. I'll tap you because this will untap. Guess what? I still don't have any cards to discard. Now, do I feel like sacrificing Sheoldred? I don't know. I kind of like just chilling and swinging in with the Gitrog here rather than going for the card advantage, since spells I cast are going to make me discard anyway. How can I ensure that their graveyard has at least 8 cards in it? Oh, don't you worry. I'll get there. As I live in Top Deck City. We know that they have at least one board wipe in their deck too because they're running snow lands. Mono black plus snow lands equals blood on the snow. Great board wipe, in part because it can kill planeswalkers. But they don't have enough mana for it. A Languish would kill everything but Sheoldred and the Frog. Top Deck City, population me. Oh yeah. This Aclazotz also triggers whenever your opponents discard lands. So, like, I don't want to ever have lands in hand that they might be able to eat up. I think I'll go for eating Gwenna. Gwenna seems tasty. They take a bunch of damage. Aclazotz is going to flip, also gain them life because lifelink. And I will eat Gwenna. Yum, 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 tasty, tasty, tasty. Ooh, a Castle Garenbrig. Wait. I'm trying to decide, like, do I want to play these two or the land? Honestly, I think I want the Pugnacious Hammerskull and the Paradise Druid over the land. An update is available. Please just start Magic Arena. I'm in the middle of a game, Mr. Wizard of the Coast. Fine, I'll update after this game, after I throw a dinosaur at myself. There is an implication that Gitrog did eat Thalia based on the flavor of this card. Gitrog monster, you wouldn't eat Thalia, would you? You might. Ooh, meaty hooky macaroni. The Pugnacious Hammerskull lives! I'll throw down this Vista so I don't have to discard it, play the Ravenous Ride, and swing in for lethal, because haste means it faces the place. GG, Aclazotz. Proxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. Proxa is a discarding commander, sacrifices itself, and then can be escaped from the graveyard later. Well, if they put lots of stuff in graveyards, either mine or theirs, I have the perfect card in my opening hand, Reanimate. A card that I actually don't think should be in this format, but it is in this format, and there's nothing we can really do about it. I have a turn 1 Utopia Sprawl, so I'm going to shock in my land, so this now taps for 2. I don't have anything I'd want to cast for 3 mana. So I'm going to hold this Windswept Heath here and just use it to grab my Surveil land. Proxa. Gonna make me discard. I'm going to actually check this Surveil first because I might be able to put like a really good creature in the graveyard to reanimate with it. Otherwise, I'll put the Ashaya in the graveyard to reanimate. That's just a swamp. I will keep land... Actually, no, I'm going to toss it just because I'll have enough. Discard a Shia. And we're going to have the world's littlest Shia. It's going to be like a 4/4. Play a land. And bring her back. I'm also very happy with this Tyvar stand in hand, since this will give me a bit of protection on a Shia or Gitrog monster. Cards, by the way, that are like the, I think they're usually called Morrows, or Morrow Sorcerers. The cards that scale in power and toughness based on a number of lands you have are really nice with Gitrog monsters, since you're getting tons of lands into play. Three mana, and Rakdos Colors is asking for removal. But I'm so ready. I'm so ready with this Tyvar stand. Ooh, Stitcher Supplier just filling up their graveyard so they can escape their commander. 1, 2, 3. Blood Splatter Analysis. That's a kill spell, sort of. It grows and then reanimates. Okay. No killing happening. I don't really feel like killing the Ashaya this turn. And I would like to hold up protection. So instead of going for Gitrog monster, trying to sacrifice anything, I'm going to bring out Lovestruck Beast. This leaves me with 1 mana and the ability to still attack with Ashaya. This will let them fill this up again. I'm fine with that. Chump blocking with a Stitcher Supplier is like a very nice, easy move, because it's like, yeah, they want this. They want to fill up their graveyard to escape their commander. They still need another red source for it, but they'll probably find one. Unless I mill all their lands. Well, they mill all their lands. Ooh, Mox Amber. No legends out yet. Dark Ritual? What are you doing with all that, man? That's 5 mana. 5 mana, but not mana they can use for Kroxa, since they still need another red source. They're doing a big thing. It makes me worried. The One Ring. Aw, man, I have to deal damage for the Gitrog monster to work. No damage means no killing my own creatures. And protection means no damage. Dang. Well, I think I should still probably play the Gitrog monster this turn. Boop. I'm trying to decide if I want to hold this swamp for discarding to Kroxa. I think I do. I'm going to leave these back, and I'm going to tear asunder the One Ring. Terra can exile the ring. Always important. I'm kind of just expecting them to escape Kroxa here. Tyvar Stand's also extra nice with Gitrog because I can use it to scale up the thing I'm sacrificing, or the Gitrog itself to deal more damage. In response to this, I'm going to go for the exile on the One Ring. They did not choose to draw cards. Nice, and now it's go time. I also have the perfect excuse to tap this Lovestruck Beast. It's smaller than Kroxa. It can't even deal damage. You and me, Ashaya, we're swinging in. Giddy up. They could have a kill spell. They do have 2 mana up, and they did not use any of their open mana for this. Oh, that's not gonna work. 1, 2, 3, 5. Perfect. If they had blocked the Crux, I probably would have just let it trade anyway, since they wouldn't be able to escape it again. At least not for a turn. This brings them down to 5 life. I'm going to sacrifice the Lovestruck Beast and gain 5 cards in hand. Did I play a land this turn? I did, so I will put this into play. And I've got some lovely sacrificeables. If they attack in, I can easily discard this. How's the One Ring different in Arena? Yeah, you can see that has this little Arena modified sticker. Instead of it being a free tap to draw cards, you have to pay 1 mana and tap to draw cards. It's not a major difference, but at least it discourages people from drawing cards every single turn. They played a little guy, but we have a big trampling attacker, and we have removal in hand since we drew so many cards. We have an easy swing in. We're gonna win this game. GG. Kalia Zenith Seeker. This is Kalia of the Vast's little sister. When she enters the battlefield, she looks at the top cards of your deck and can put up to 1 demon, 1 angel, and 1 dragon into your hand. It's card advantage, as well as being a well-statted, flying, vigilant creature. Definitely worth it for 3 mana, and it's a fun thing to do in Mardu colors. I like this hand because we have a turn 1 Rachel token, and then I have Tireless Provisioner to get me mana. And we also have a Beast, which we can eat with the Gitrog monster. Goldvein Hydra, nice to sacrifice as well. We just throw this down whenever we have a free turn. I'm ready. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Nice shadowy backstreet. Behold! A girl! She's out here. Rachel attacks for 1 damage. It's also tempting to do, like, Goldvein Hydra for 1. Totally unnecessary, but it would be cute. You think it's actually the chicken as the 1/1? Lovestruck Beast will love any 1/1. It doesn't matter if it's a Hydra, or a human, or a Llanowar elf, or if you turn him into a 1/1 himself. Oh, Kali is coming down. And she's going to get... Ooh, Sarah Paragon and Grizzlebrand. They do have too many cards in hand, though. So, time to discard. Ooh. Huh. That, to me, says they have a reanimate. And I can't let that happen. I have this Bajuka Bog that I just drew. I'm using it. I'm going to use the Bajuka Bog. I can't let them, for whatever low cost. They could also have, like, there's some 4 mana reanimate cards. I can't let them bring that back. Like, yes, this does slow down my game plan, but I need to... Oh god, that's Avacyn this time! I need to protect myself. I may have stopped 1 threat, but what about 2nd threat? I do have some exiling removal in this deck, but not a crazy amount. If they can reanimate her, I am in big, big danger. Noban Outpost. This is the plains they found. They're ripping apart my little landfall dude. No reanimate. At least no reanimate this turn. I'm safe. At least for a moment. I'll use 1 forest to enchant the other forest, so it gets me more of that good green stuff. I guess I could just go for drawing 1 here. I think that's fine. Giddy up. I was planning on going for the Hydra otherwise. Yes, please. And put up the one land into play. This one, please. I'm ramping. Turn Timber Symbiosis can get me a kind of random creature from the top cards of my deck next turn. Yeah, if they manage to get the Avacyn into play, I'm not going to be able to get damage in with the Gitrog. Ooh, they're discarding Burning Rune Demon. That's another good reanimate target, and they're just killing my commander. I actually have a deck that feels kind of similar to one my opponent is playing, which is Kalia without the Kalia. My deck I'm talking about is... It's Cruxa and Kunaros, which I turned into an Angels and Demons and Dragons Oh My deck. Right, how much mana do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why can't I keep clicking plus? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why can't I pay more than 5? Oh, Angel of Eternal Dawn! I forgot. I forgot that that's how its text would work on an X cost spell. We did, in fact, ramp. Swords to put. Oh, I don't even get the treasure now. Sarah Paragon's going to let them replay something from their graveyard. If they have any permanents they could replay, but they don't. It's all lands. They had a fetch land, but we got rid of it. Oh, why'd you attack with the Faceless Agent? She's dead. Show me your secrets. Aurelia and Ornithopter. Well, that's pretty spooky. I have the choice here between trying to use the Lovestruck Beast or just attacking with it. For this turn, I'm just gonna go for attacking wide since we are taking so much damage. If they want to double block one of these, that's fine. They let that hit. I'm going to sacrifice the 1/1. We draw a card. We can put a land into play. I will put that land into play. I'm going to name green. I'm going to scry. Not that. Spooky Ornithopter. Spooky Ornithopter. They could eternalize this. That would get them a 4/4 flyer. 4/4 flyer? Yes, that's the one that makes it a 4/4. Embalm and internalize. I always forget which is which. Faceless Agent. They could just replay it because they get some value. Oh, they went for this Arcane Signet. Bringing out the Timeless Dragon. And they're swinging with their one Vigilant Critter. Looking at how much mana I have. And this is, I'm going to say cute. I'm bringing out the Pelucranos, and I'm fighting two creatures. You may notice that Pelucranos is now a 1/1, which allows the Lovestruck Beast to fulfill his heart's desires and attack in. I'm gonna eat this little baby Poly K to draw a card since I do have some stuff in graveyard. I could play this as a land, but I'd rather save it. It was very slick. Thank you. I'm planning on eating this Lovestruck Beast next turn. So if they had played Aurelia this turn, they could have attacked in, brought me to 1. But I wouldn't be Dad. Kalia's checking for more angels and demons and dragons. It looks like she didn't find what she needed. GG, Kalia. Corvold, Fey, Cursed King. You sacrifice your permanents, and when you do, you draw a card and your dragon grows. Corvold's a really fun commander because in Jund, you have things that sacrifice themselves, you have lots of things that reward you for sacrificing your own permanents, and also you have a gigantic dragon. And big dragons can win games. I've seen 2020 Corvolds that just swing in to end things. Inquisition of Kozilek is going to interrupt my crazy opening hand, by the way. I was going to go turn 1 Elish Mystic, turn 2 Gwenna, and my opponent knows it, and they're going to stop it. That's a good idea. You shouldn't let me have 5 or 6 mana on turn 3. That's probably for the best of everybody involved. Okay, that's nice. A little bit of ramp here. Kami of Bamboo Groves. Bring in this other forest. We could sacrifice this later. A lot of people are going to notice I'm not playing many of the, like, repeatably sacrificable cards. Things like Jadar or Lord Skitters and anything else like that in this deck. I found that it's a lot more fun to just have big, silly creatures that I sacrifice. Is that the best strategy for Gitrog? I don't know. But it's really fun. Bringing out Gwenna. They can sacrifice that Wayfarer's Bauble to get a land. I built a deck that synergizes with my commander. Yeah, getting to play high-power stuff with Gitrog is really fun. It also constantly puts you in this great situation of, you know, I could leave back my 18-6, or I could attack with it, or I could eat it. Or I could eat it. Gwenna's especially great in this deck because we have so many high-powered things, so we can tap her multiple times in a turn. Or, like, tap her, she untaps herself, and then we eat her. Delicious. Is Gitrog eating Yargle Multani cannibalism? It's something, alright. They're killing my Kami of Bamboo Groves, getting themselves an extra land. Boop, boop. So I know this is not the play that gets me to get Gitrog monster doing stuff this turn, but this is the play that lands a prime time. And the longer the prime time's on the battlefield, the more mana I'm getting. Always good when you have some land stuff in your deck. Alright, prime time. Let's find a couple dirts. Which dirts are we getting? Ones that otherwise would come in tapped is pretty good. I could also grab the Reliquary Tower, since I might want to do the thing with the gold and Multani next turn. I mean, I am going to do the thing with the Yargle and Multani next turn if I can. I have enough mana to go, like, Frog Champ, Gwenna, Yargle, Party Hard. Are we gonna yeet the Yargle and Multani? We're gonna eat the Yargle and Multani. No, don't bring back Kill Spell. No, I need... Hang it. You're making this awful tricky for me, ma'am. Veritable feast? It is a feast! So we are going to play Yargle and Multani here, but I am not going to saddle up. I'm just going to let them choose between killing one or the other. I mean, I guess I could saddle up since it can't attack anyway. I'm not really using it to block. Also, look at all this Gwenna value. It doesn't have haste. These colors, like the big haste enablers, are mostly equipment. Are they just gen control? No, they're clearly doing some gen sacrifice stuff. Bitter Triumph. They're hitting my frog. But since it has haste, we'll just bring it back next turn. And we can still swing in for 5 because Gwenna is getting chunky. They can let that die, and they would be able to eternalize it, but they would not be able to eternalize it and then recast the removal. Just in saving time here. I'm going to use this Underground Mortuary. I don't really feel I need a land, so I'll throw that in the graveyard. Yeah, next turn, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She untaps. We can also play Shuldred. Nice. You just saw me on Shivam's newest video. Yes, I was on Casual Magic this week. If you want to see me talk about Brawl and probably other things that are not as on topic, you should check it out. I added it onto my Amy on Other Channels Doing Silly Stuff playlist that's on YouTube. Make it easy to find. The Corval's a 6/6. Notably, Pelucranos is a 0/0. But I think we have a very good line there, since we also had this 18/6. And we win the game. Great. GG. Rocco, Cabaretti Caterer. Puts things into exile. No, wait. This is the other Rocco. This is the Rocco that tutors. This is going to be a whole lot of ramp and then a whole lot of good stuff. This is a Naya toolbox of a deck, or sometimes it's a combo deck. I have seen versions of Rocco that are combo decks. Do I know that's what this is? Sure don't. Normally, I would go for a turn 1 Elish Mystic, but since they did a turn 1 Ragavan Pirate, I'm going to bring out this human token. CEDH Rocco. Is there actually a CEDH version of this deck? I could definitely believe it. Having a tutor in the command zone seems like it could be huge. What's wrong? You don't want a duel? They didn't want a duel. I'll play the Elvish Mystic, and then this land that comes into play tapped. Exile all 0 cards in their graveyard, and pass the turn. Oh, a desert! Pings me for 1. A nice new budget land, especially if you're trying to do crime. Which, aren't we all constantly trying to do crime? Or maybe that's just me. I'll bring out the Wayward Swordtooth. Takanuma! That gives me 2 mana. But I can, I guess I could destroy one of our lands if I really wanted to. I'm ramping, and I'm gonna sacrifice stuff. Mr. Monkey. Mr. Monkey, would you like to play? Wooded Foothills. They're going to grab themselves a little happy fetch land. Into a shock land. Ooh, Atsushi! I wonder if this is a treasures deck. This does treasures. This does treasures. Nothing for me to tear asunder. Play a land. Play a frog. Crew up. I know it's saddle, but I always think of it as crew. Swing in! And even if they double block, we would still be getting damage through since they only have 5 toughness. We've got 6 trampling damage coming in. Hello, yes. They're gonna let Atsushi die, and now they can either make treasures or they can impulse draw some cards. And I feel like they're gonna go for the treasures. Yep. We sacrifice our Wayward Swordtooth. We've already played a land for turns, so we won't be able to play another one later. The way that, like, playing extra lands with cards like this works is unfortunately not something that, like, sticks around. Wow, did we get no lands? We hit no lands in the top 5. Well then, I'm gonna drop Reclamation Sage. Oh, I just realized I don't have a forest for Sprawl, so I could have dropped Sprawl too. Hey, Hamhugs! Welcome, Raiders! We're currently in the midst of pogging and frogging with Gitrog Ravenous Ride. We're showing YouTube how to do, you know, kill your own creature stuff. It's really fun. How go the brews? Very fun. Gitrog, Ravenous Ride, does some very silly stuff. X equals 5 on Rocco, Cabaret Caterer, gets them a 5-drop from their deck, but which? Anti-Flash? No, they don't have anything great to reanimate. Elish Norn, who stops the enters the battlefields. Well, that means Pock's not going to be doing as much, but I still have a Skullspore Nexus. Ooh, or maybe Sereth. Sereth gets me Death Touch, but I do need something big to sacrifice. Lovestruck Beast is big and can be sacrificed. Also, like, Honest Rutstein eventually, maybe bringing back that Sword Tooth. I have 3 green that I can use. So I think I'm going to go for Lovestruck Beast, Skullspore Nexus, and then sitting here, because unfortunately, 6/5 does not kill 4/7. But if I double its power using the Skullspore Nexus, we're good. Honest Rutstein would, yeah, it would shut off the bringing back, but it wouldn't shut off the discounts, the Doug Dimma discounts. That's okay. We'll get rid of her. Assuming they don't have something insane right here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. And uncounterable pirates. Yes, we can also do Death Touch next turn. That's part of the plan. We're gonna get through a lot of damage. Or maybe I'll go for drawing 10. No. We don't ever let Rocco tutor again. Rocco? You hit me for 3? And I accept this. I'm also just like thinking casually. No, I'm gonna use the Terra Sender because that leaves me with the 2 mana up for Skullspore. Heroic Intervention. Okay. Giddy up. Gonna throw that Ragavan in the way, too. Y'all might be indestructible, but I'm bigger than you. The damage goes through! Move this back. We're going to get a 12/12. I'm gonna sacrifice the Lovestruck Beast! Oh, such beautiful cards drawn. And I'm going to pop down you, since you always come in tapped. You, since I'd rather not use you right away. A Cavern of Souls. Just perfect. And I'm leaving the Polluted Delta in hand because I haven't actually played a land yet this turn. We also get a 5/5 off our Dinobanoid dying. Crack open the Polluted Delta. Find ourselves a happy little fetch land and do that. There we go. Utopia Sprawl, naming green, and now I don't have to discard. And there's a 12/12. And there's a 12/12. Seriously, Skullspore Nexus, I feel, is one of the top cards you should be playing in your Gitrog deck. If you're all about sacrificing big stuff and not little stuff, get yourself a big old chunky thing. It helps you get damage through because of the trample. It helps you draw more cards because you can also choose to just buff the thing that is being sacrificed. It's versatile in this deck, and it gets you lasting impact. It's really good. All right, Rocco, what else you got for me? You want to hit me for another 3? Oh, Aftershock, thank you for gifting us up to Hamhocks after that big old raid. Decimate! So you can only use Decimate if all of the targets are available, so it's a little risky of a card, but it's still working out for them right here. But they don't have enough mana to recast Rocco, and there goes my Skullspore Nexus. Oh no! As if that would ever stop me. Bringing out the Gitrog monster once again. I do not have enough money. Not money, wow. Mana for my good friend, Honest Rutstein. But I do have enough mana to just attack your face. So we're going to attack with you, you, and you. We'll get him, Sweaty. By Sweaty, I mean Frog. Just good attacks. So now they get 2 enter the battlefield this next turn. The question is, what do they do with it? I'm playing Honest Rutstein, even though he doesn't get the enter the battlefield here. You prefer Dishonest Rutstein? Ugh, don't we all? I just want to be able to, like, spit out 1,000,000 cards next turn. I just want to kill my Demogoth Warweeder. So here they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the base cost, and then X equals 4. Skyclave Apparition can't take out my important cards. I'm trying to think of what else they could be tutoring for that would be very impactful here. Yeah, monies, mana. I just finished playing another card game that used gold, and so I'm just out here like, yeah, gold, monies, treasure. It's all the same thing. By the way, this does naturally have haste. This card is so pushed. We just want to force through damage. There's not any board wipes I can think of that they can get either. Yeehaw. X equals 3. Alright, not even gonna bother with 4. They get 2 creatures. What's it gonna be? The song slaps. Yeah, I love Tifa's theme. There's, I think, 2 different covers of Tifa's theme on my playlist. One by the Consoles and one by 8-Bit Big Band. When I saw the 8-Bit Big Band one performed live, I cried. It was so beautiful. Yep, there's the Skyclave Apparition. That's going to take out Honest Rutstein and the Elish Mystic. And it could be another exiling card. Yeah, being able to double exile these fungus dinosaurs would do a lot of work. Brutal Cathar? Oh yeah, you can have Brutal Cathar in these colors. Nope, they're gonna go for some card draw off Llanowar Visionary. I can't double my power anymore. Boo-hoo. But I can play Seraph to give Death Touch to my Gitrog monster. I also now have this Tyvar's Stand, and I can also eat this. Actually, how many cards would I like to draw? How many lands do I want to put into play? I think I mentioned in the intro to this video that if I was given the choice between drawing 12 cards and dealing 12 damage, I'd pretty much always choose to deal 12 damage. Or, sorry, to draw 12 cards over the damage. Ah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, there's something else in there. Death Touch Trample is one hell of a drug. Was it during play testing yesterday? By the way, we don't get all the lands because they didn't end up blocking with Norn. We won't get the doubled lands, I should say. We still get the lands that we're putting into play here. Oh boy, do I ever! Alright, we got a Reliquary Tower, we got a Swamp. Some of these. Did I play a land yet this turn? I didn't, so I'll hold one of them back. Yeah, whatever you say, lady. Hand size, infinite. Head, empty. Could have done that on my turn. I got enough mana to replay my frog. I'm actually kind of thinking Seraph or Pawk. I have single target removal, so I should just keep something that kills Norn. Or, that kills them. You should have made all creatures lose all abilities. But you didn't. If you do that, all creatures lose all abilities, then it gets straight through indestructible. This equals 2. Oh, right. I forgot. Should have done this. All right, 1 second. Artifact, creature, enchantment, and land. Artifact, creature, enchantment, land. Do I have any more kill? I have the world's babiest kill. It would still work, though. Still get there. Fine. It's fine. We still win. Rena and Linvala shuts off your activated abilities, including tapping your creatures for mana, and then steals those abilities for themselves. Rena and Linvala is a pretty good card, and leans itself very well into a bit of a Death and Taxes build. I know in my Drena and Linvala, I have an assortment of Thalias, because they work really well. I guess I should be using these activated abilities while I can. I'll get the Spelunking out this turn. If I can get a land. Oh, nice! I did! And I will name Horror for my Gitrog monster. I can also name Frog. Neither of those are the most common type in my deck. In fact, I don't think there's any other frogs or horrors in this deck. At all. There's like 3 Phyrexians. That's gotta be something, right? You could name Mount. Yes, for all the mounts in my deck. I think Primeval Titan, since we have it, is very good. Going ramp, prime time. I guess ramp, prime time. More ramp. Means that even if they start destroying my threats, we'll be able to use the Gitrog monster. Okay, so they were holding removal for the frog, so I'm really glad I went for this instead. I'll grab... ooh, Garenbrig will help me accelerate my mana a lot. But I think I want some stuff that also comes in tapped. Something like Restless Cottage. And I'll grab the Blooming Marsh because it would come in tapped. Oh, right. We have a Spelunking. Perfect. Bam. Human. Prime time with the Spelunking out? Yeah, it comes in on tap. Smothering Tithe. Okay, do I pay the 2? I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I do pay the 2. I'm going to shock this in. Use it to play this frog. Oh, right, I didn't have to pay 2 life because of Spelunking. I keep forgetting. I'm so busy trying to figure out how much treasure I'm gonna give them. Because the answer's a lot. Really? Only 1? Fine. Enjoy your treasures, Drena and Linvala. Yeah, if you're using Overgrown Tomb or a similar shockland with Spelunking, you have to click decline and then enters tapped, and then it will come in untapped. It's weird in Arena. So I have to make sure I have auto choose replacement. Okay, so I have to make sure I turn that off. Aww. Don't be like that. Fine, I'll destroy your Smothering Tithe. Perhaps I'll even pay the 2. I'm gonna wreck it. Boop. And I want to get down a big boy for next turn. This will come in untapped, as long as I click tapped first. Yeah, I had to turn on the auto order ability or turn it off. They've already exiled my graveyard. I'm still going to keep that and pass the turn. No more treasures for you. They still do have 7 here, though. It's so weird to me that, like, Mount is technically a creature type you can name. So do you have any creatures? Or are you just about the taxes and the death? Oh, hey, Boromir. Boromir will stop free spells of a sort. One Pelucranos, please. Pelucanos! I can't activate your ability, but you're still so big and chunkled. Mistweaver Ponk, I do not have a land that will enter the battlefield for him. That's fine. I don't really want to play this as a land either. Hello, would you like to block? Wait, free Shadow Spear. Cavern of Souls says yeehaw. It says horror. I'll save this. In case they cast a non-exiling board wipe, I have a 3 and a 4 that I'd be able to bring back. They're still on only 4 lands. Giver of Runes lets them give protection to one of their creatures. They're desparking Pelucanos because I could bring it back from the graveyard if it dies. And they swing in with their Vigilant Flyer for 3. Fuck! Copy this land. We're gonna pock and roll. Before I play my commander, I'm going to Meat Hook Massacre for 3. To kill Boromir and the Giver of Runes. They may as well sacrifice Boromir in response. I could have also equipped the Shadow Spear and done X equals 4. Do I get to draw? I do get to draw! They prevent 1 damage from Pock. Ooh, but you've just marked lethal damage on your commander. I'll remove her indestructible. And now I'm at 25 life. They're at 9 life. And we have 3 big boys. Mistweaver Pock has been exiled. They didn't pay the full cost. They paid the student cost there. Okay, Soulless Jailer. That does prevent some spells for us, but it also does not prevent Ghalta from killing them. Ishin, 2 heavens as 1. Doubles on attack triggers. And sometimes those are like the samurai / warrior on attack triggers. But in general, that's all over the place. There's only so many on attack triggers that are really, really strong. And Ishin decks tend to run as many of them as they can. They're saying hello. Let me hit them with a Addy. Aw, they waved. I'll blow a kiss. Paradise Druid for some nice ramp. Next turn, I might also play Honest Rutstein for some dishonest ramping. Honest Rutstein has this great enter the battlefield ability, but it's also just a very solid, like, 3/2 that discounts my future creatures. Makes it so playable. Since I drew something else to play, I'm just going to play it. I could have actually, I realized this after, I could have played the Ifnir Deadlands to give this flash. There are 2 deserts in this deck, only for the Colossal Rattleworm. It's a 6/5 with trample. It's also real good for sacrificing to the frog. And then bringing back with Honest Rutstein. Hey, Colossal Rattleworm. Are you gonna get exiled? Oh, they destroyed it! So I actually have an ability for it in the graveyard. It lets me ramp. But, like, I have the Honest Rutstein. I can play it. Since I don't have more lands, I'm also tempted to, like, Vorinclex here. Stop flicking that coin, Tiny Bones. Let's grab 1 of each. Fancy duel and a not-so-fancy duel. Hey, honored Crapton. Are you gonna give other creatures a small buff? Too bad, I'm still bigger. Four mana now. They could play Ishin. I don't think it would be very good. Is Tiny Bones a child or just like a small skeleton man? We don't really know. The important thing is that he's a skeleton. Skullspore Nexus. Checking out your hand. Looking for perhaps Wandering Emperors or something like that. Huh. I see. The Wandering Emperor. What a surprise. Anifakal, Nihiri the Harbinger. That's more exiling tap stuff. I feel like I can deal with aggro. If you'd like to, you could exile my Paradise Druid. Put the Colossal Rattleworm back into hand. And not attack. I'm not gonna be able to kill the Wandering Emperor. No. Yeah. Tiny Bones is just a little guy. Yes, this is able to be activated at instant speed. The entire turn she comes into play. It's actually incredibly frustrating. Skullspore Nexus doesn't prevent exile. It's just good against the just good against destruction effects. Or I shouldn't say prevent, but like gives me a reward. They're thinking. I did that once too. I'm doing it right now. I'm thinking about Blue Jays. They're really cool looking. Do I think Honest Resting fits into regular Golgari? I think that this is a card that you can throw into a ton of different Golgari decks. I think that if your deck is predominantly creature-based, just this second line here is good enough. I've put Amori into decks. That's the 4-mana 4/5. Ooh, hey there, Honored Crop Captain. Do you have one extra damage? Nope. Great, the Crapton is dead. It's a frog. Lippity cloppity. Just want to make sure the Wandering Emperor dies. Like, really make sure. Sacrifice the Demagoth Woe Eater. Draw 7. And put 2 lands into play. Yeah, I shot that in this turn. Woe Eater dying triggers its own ability. They discard a card. I draw a card. Gain 2 life. Perfect. And now I have too many cards in hand. So, Tommy Bamboo Groves, you're out of here. I don't need you. Sure, you turn into lands, but I'll get lands from my frog. Ishin's gonna come down, and Anipakal is going to go nuts if she attacks in. It has to attack with a non-gnome. She's the only non-gnome they have, but she gets double triggers. So there's now 6 1/1s coming at me. They could Shatter Seal Smashing for X equals 1. Instead, they're gonna draw a card. Lightning Bolt! Nice card to draw. Finishes off my little token. But with this, the Skullspore Nexus, we just swing in. Big Vorin collects. Look, I did it. I resisted drawing cards and instead dealt lethal damage. GG. Kenrith, the Returned King. This could be a lot of different decks. As a 5-color commander that has I'll say a pretty broad variety of abilities, Kenrith can be about activated abilities. He can be about reanimation. Or he could just be 5-color good stuff, because sometimes you're just 5-color good stuff. His built-in reanimation ability, though, is really scary. Based on this start, I do actually think that they might be a reanimation deck, since they've got our good friend King Dad and lots of things to put things into graveyard, and then you can bring them out, get them haste, all that. Am I feeling a Gwenna turn? It's like I can play Gitrog monster this turn. And then use the leftover mana for Topiary Stomper. Grab another land. Saddle up. And swing. Gwenna, absolute all-star in this deck, by the way. So good. We sacrifice our Topiary Stomper. Ooh, and we got 2 lands that we can put into play. I have ramped. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. An adequate amount of mana. Isn't that right, Frog? You didn't say nothing. Neither did they. GG. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Me and this Gitrog monster sure did get to feast on a lot of nice high-powered creatures. And it's so fun to get to do so. Gitrog Ravenous Ride, because it's got this early game Golgari removal and ramp into big, fun, stompy stuff, is really fun. But I really love the activating Gitrog monster part of this deck more than anything else. I think Gitrog Ravenous Ride might be the kind of deck that I want to build in paper, because I think that it's really interesting, and it's a different style of gameplay than a lot of other decks. It's a bit like Zeatora, where you're trying to play these big things just to fling them at your opponent, but instead of flinging, you're just drawing cards and putting lands into play, which is something that, you know, is always good to do in a Golgari deck. And it's a way of also refunding a bit of your mana cost if you manage to get Gitrog through. While I was playing this game, though, I kept running into bigger, greener decks than us, so I added in a Lorien Brooch, that's the Trailblazer's boots, so I'd have even more unblockability for the Gitrog monster. If you're looking to find the deck list, it is in the description of the video. And if you would like to suggest a commander like this one, please let me know in the comments. Also, if there's something you'd like about the deck, something you would add into the deck, a question about a card, please let me know in the comments. Engagement on the videos helps promote them. Yes, the YouTube algorithm likes it when you like, comment, and subscribe. Speaking of subscribers, we're almost at 25,000 subscribers. Once we hit that, I am planning on doing another Brawl Stars Variety Hour where I will be playing your decks. That's right, I will be letting people submit their decks for me to play, and we'll upload a whole bunch of videos of that gameplay footage. It'll be really fun, it'll be a great celebration, so don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.